Guys, I'm Daryl.
I'm Tay.
And we're the Prices. So, this is our budget planning meeting. We're going to hop right into it. Why you spend all that money last month?
I did not.
No, I was just playing. We talked about October. We started talking about October. So, we can just take a look, see how we did, see where we went over. We got one more thing of groceries. So, that food, please. But we did go over on restaurants.
Side note, the way that we can tell what we went over on is it's in red. So that's why I'm already making faces before we even start talking about it. So, ooh.
But, I mean, that's the only real thing that we went over on. So, I mean, it's just a couple of dollars here and there that we can tighten up. But overall, in October, we did good. Side note, we're not gonna say side note every time we come and talk to y'all, but we normally talk about how much we have in our account, how much we had left over, and if any of that money can go towards the following month or to debt, which is preferred in my eyes. So when we move over into the next month, since we already looked and reviewed October, you got something to add?
Yes. So I think you're moving too fast, baby. So for the purposes of, this is new for us having this camera right here while we talk about this. We usually just run through these. So because I know that we have already been having conversation about our food category, which we told you guys about that in the part 1. Our food category, we have been overspending on. So we are looking at this and we see that it is in red. So when we move over to November, which I'm about to let Daryl do, you guys will hear us give kind of what can we do to remedy us going over on our food.
So you talking about October? I was gonna hit on that in November, but
we gotta tell how we got to it in November.
I know, just messing with you. All right, so we're in November. So when you move over to November in the EveryDollar app, as mentioned in the previous episode, you can just press copy all from previous month, and it does an exact copy of the list, and then you can update it from there. So that's what I just did. So I'll be going through and adding. So our income staying the same. Now that you're making some more money that I don't know about. No.
I wish.
All right. So here's the big section with our food. All right. So since we're doing those cheat days, getting a break from those cooking groceries, and we're gonna actually eat out for that one meal instead of eating out for an entire day this time.
Yeah.
We can add a column or a section here for our cheat meals.
Okay.
So we would have groceries, restaurants and dates, and then our actual cheat meals.
So, and that's just Saturday or Friday
it's just
night or
whichever day we decide. It's just one meal per week.
Okay, so what do you think the amount should be?
I mean, I feel like when we go out to eat, we spend about $25 for one meal.
A piece?
Yes. No, together. Not including drinks, just food. I'm talking about just
$25?
food.
Where you eating?
Let's go back and look.
But I think that we need to go
back.
They
got drinks and stuff on there. They don't count.
I think we definitely.
So what do you think? What do you think it should be?
I think that So you're saying $25 on just the meal?
Yes. Okay. I don't think that we should include drinks in our cheap because we would include it if we eat at home. So
okay.
So $25 sounds good now.
A piece?
No, 30. Total.
$25 a piece? So 25 for mine, 25 for yours?
No.
So you're saying...
Why are you eating for $25?
I'm just thinking about menus when I go out.
You need to think about some other menus.
What menu are you looking at where we spending $12?
If we go to a regular restaurant, the meal is going to be like $9.99 to $13.99.
Okay.
Yeah, you trying to get some crab legs or something?
No, but I'm just thinking about restaurant menus. I'm thinking about even when we go to eat. Listen, I'm thinking about even when we go to Buffs. We spend a lot of money. And it's just chicken wings.
I can take that off the bat. And they come with a combo and everything. That's together.
Okay, maybe.
That's all you really care about is the chicken.
Just go.
So I leave it at $25. And
no compromise, y'all.
Because we came to we came to a mutual understanding.
Back to it.
All right, so it just multiply that times 4 because it's for each week.
So $100 a month. Our child is trying to get in on this budget planning meeting.
Yeah, she said add me to the budget.
No. So $100 a month for a cheap meal.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Which we'll get for. It's
yes.
a month. It's a week. 4 weeks.
4 weeks, yeah. I mean, honestly, we should cut that down so we can hit the debt, but you know, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So
We're
gonna eat. We're gonna eat. All right, so that's that.
Mm-hmm.
So
any other changes? So
do we need this line?
Do we need restaurant and dates?
Yeah, I mean we're gonna be going out every week.
Boy, we still gotta have dates. You can take restaurants off, but we still need a
It's
date.
the same thing. It's the money. It don't matter
No,
what the
it's
name
not.
is.
Because say for instance, cheap meal, Trap Karaoke wouldn't fit under cheap meal, but we went to Trap Karaoke. That was considered a date night.
I'll take the label off.
So you can take restaurants off, but we still, you gotta court me.
I'm calling you every week that we go out to eat.
Bye.
All right, so nothing with our savings, emergency fund will really be changing.
Mm-hmm.
So nothing with our emergency fund, we good on that.
Mm-hmm.
So we saved up the recommended $1,000 for any emergencies, and then the trip fund. So just any upcoming trips we have, that's good to go.
Mm-hmm.
We're keeping that steady.
Yeah. But we routinely flow money into the trip fund. So even if we don't have anything planned, money's still flowing into that fund.
That goes in every month. As of right now, but when we get into the new year, we do have plans to change that, to hit that even harder, to go and knock that out.
Right.
All right, so then we have housing. So I do have a few updates for housing, because water will be a tad bit different. It goes down, and also electric goes down, which I don't know how with the code coming up, but
because he still got, y'all, I'm right here shivering because my husband won't turn on his heat today. It's cold. And he want to know how the bills went down because I'm freezing.
It's heat at the restaurants you're trying to go to. All right. We do have a section for household. So just any type of household things, like any type of cleaning supplies or smell good stuff that she likes to get. We have that. We have a section for that.
And it's under housing, so it's not a whole nother category. It's underneath housing.
So transportation, I know you said you needed to get tires this month.
Yes, I need tires. So y'all, we normally go through our considerations. So all of our considerations for that month that we're planning for. So do you want me to give you those?
I want to wait till we actually finish the actual budget.
You mentioned my tires.
Yeah, it's because it's already out here. I already added it because I love you and everything.
Okay. Y'all, he budget planned before I was even right here. Okay.
Gotta make these meetings flow. All right, so our next section is personal. So this is all the personal things we have. So our stuff is like Apple Music. We have a phone on here, even though it's more so a necessity today. But we probably don't have the cheapest plan that you can get. Or
cheapest phone.
The most basic plan, I guess you can say. So that's different. And this is actually where we put our allowance/fund money at as well. So their part is there. And gifts. So they will come up in considerations. But since it's a line item from last month, we can talk about it now. So do you have any type of gifts that you're trying to give this month? I know it's your mama's birthday. What about anything else?
It's Bexley's birthday too.
Bexley's birthday.
But I think that that's all of the gifts that I have to give for November.
So since we have a limit for gifts, we know that there's 2 people, so we automatically know how much it's going to be. We don't even have to think about that. We already know.
So you are hopping into considerations?
No, I'm going to skip that one. And we come back to it. So lifestyle, that's not going to change that I know of right now until we come back to considerations. Gym, they say the same. Insurance, we can actually start considerations right here because we do have some changes to our insurance.
And a lot of this we already talked about with y'all. And we told you what all the different categories were. So for the considerations for our budget, I'll pull up the list because we have a joint note. Y'all like all our joint stuff, huh? We have a joint note that has all of the different considerations already on there. So he can add stuff, I can add stuff as the month's going. Before the month starts, but for in the previous month. Yeah, so just a quick note that we actually do these budget planning meetings a week before the new month starts. So that way we should have all the information pretty much for the new month that we can go ahead and discuss. So the only thing on our considerations is a fall wreath, which I have been trying to get this wreath since September.
All right, I add 3. We got that down.
Yeah, we got it down for $30. You're saying no more than 30. Yeah.
Okay.
Tires. I need new tires, which you mentioned that you've already put that on there when you were.
That's good. And I
planning
updated the
before
price.
me.
So we don't really, I mean, we can check to see how much the tires are, which we will eventually do before we actually go in for the new month, which I know we got a couple of days, but we do, right now I have it as an estimate, and I kind of up the estimate a little bit just to make sure that the full amount is going to be covered.
And the last thing that we have is our floors. We're redoing our floors, so we put money towards that fund.
Okay, so that's
every
gonna
month.
right. So that's gonna come out the fund. So let me add that. And got that number. And boom. Okay, should be good with that one. Okay,
that's all the considerations.
Okay. So that's it. So we talked about considerations. We talked about the previous month, and then we have this month. And so then once we've done all of that, we look to see how much we have or don't have left over in our budget. So luckily this month we have some money left over. So we decide, hey, where should this go? And my choice is going to be push it towards the debt.
Yeah, because we have to, and the reason for that is the mindset of budgeting every dollar. So if you leave room for money to just be sitting there, then that lets you kind of spend carelessly. So planning out every cent that you have is how you are successful with this process.
Yeah. So moving forward.
Okay.
This meeting is pretty much over with. We got everything planned out. We'll go in and just, say, hey, the rest of this go towards debt. And then it'll let us know that we have an every dollar budget, which means that every dollar has a name.
And we don't always, I don't want y'all to think that we're just these boring people, which if it was left to there, we would be. These boring people that's just putting all our additional money towards debt. Like there are months where sometimes we're like, okay, let's treat ourselves. Let's buy this or let's do that. But for the most part, most of our additional money does go towards the debt because we want to get out of debt. And that way we can have more months of let's treat ourselves and be able to treat ourselves even better. But thank you guys so much for joining in. I know this episode was very lengthy because we had to split it up in 2 parts. But as always, whether we're on here or not, you guys can feel free to leave comments, concerns. Remember, leave the comments below. You can inbox us so that we can post them to our story, not on our phone. But we'll see you guys next time on the episode of The Prize.